Hi guys, me and Fig are here today with the third and final video on this week's feature on urine spraying, and this will hopefully be the one that you find most useful. Here are my top 10 tips on how to stop your cat from spraying. The first and in my opinion most important tip is to make sure your cat is neutered. There are a ton of very good reasons for neutering, and this is just another one to add to the list. If your cat's left entire, and this goes for both male and females, it will have an additional and very strong motivation for urine spraying, and that is to attract a mate. So neutering your cat will totally remove this motivation, and in many cases will completely resolve the spraying itself. Secondly is to clean the existing spray marks appropriately to completely remove any trace of the urine mark. Otherwise your cat may feel encouraged to top these up if they can sense that the urine mark is still there. They need to be cleaned with a biological washing powder or an enzymatic cleaner specifically made for tackling cat urine. Number 3 is to stop any form of punishment towards your cat. And by punishment here I mean anything that your cat finds unpleasant. So it could be shouting at them or chasing them away, or of course any physical punishment such as smacking them or rubbing their noses in it. Sometimes this can be difficult to stop, especially when you see the cat backing up in that telltale way and you know they're about to spray and you desperately want to get them to stop. However, scaring or hurting your cat is going to cause them to feel extremely anxious, and anxiety is a big cause of urine spraying. So of course you're going to end up with more spraying and more than one cause for the spraying, which is going to make it very difficult to overcome. They'll also probably do it when you're not looking as well, which can make it very difficult to find the urine marks. Also, you're going to harm your relationship with your cat, which is what we don't want to happen at all. So number 4 is to temporarily physically deter your cat from spraying in a given area. This is one to do in the short term while working on improving your cat's behaviour, because it addresses the symptom rather than the cause. But physically preventing your cat from spraying in their usual place can help break the habit and speed up behavioural change. To do this, place small bowls of dry food near the area that they've sprayed. This aims to change the association of this area from a marking site to a feeding site, and in the aim that they won't want to urinate so close to their food. You can also use plastic sheeting to protect the surface from ongoing urine spray. Again, don't rely on this one though, as the motivation to spray will still be there and the risk is they will just spray in a new location. My 5th tip is to shield your cat from the presence of the cats outside. If your cat's particularly bothered by neighbourhood cats, so they chase each other, stare at one another, or your cat might watch them avidly out the window, or you just have some particularly relentless neighboured cats that are trying to muscle in on your cat's home, this one is probably the most important point for you. It's absolutely essential that these cats are not able to enter your home, so a microchip cat flap is worth every penny, and keep an eye on open windows or doors to make sure they're not coming in when you're not looking. Keep food bowls away from cat flaps and doors, as they're probably enticing the other cats to come through. If possible, cat-proof your garden to prevent others from coming in, but if you can't do this, make sure there's lots of places for your cat to hide in your garden, so add in lots of shrubbery, bushes, trees, garden furniture and plant pots, particularly around the cat flap to give them some cover. Try to prevent the neighbourhood cats looking in through your windows, as this is really intimidating for your own cat. And if you can't do that, block the cat's view of the outside cats by placing frosted sticky black plastic on the bottom part of your windows. Tip number 6 is important when your cat is spraying because of the other cat or cats in the same household, and this is to get all of the cat's resources right for a multi-cat household. By resources, I mean anything that your cat uses or is important to them, so that's food, water, litter trays, scratch posts, beds, toys and so on. There needs to be at least one of each of these for every cat in the household, plus an extra one to always make sure each cat has the option of which to use. These should be positioned in separate locations throughout your home. This is going to reduce the competition between the cats in your household and relieve some of that territorial pressure within your home and give them less need to feel like they need to urine mark. Number 7, try to maintain a constant cat-friendly territorial scent. And when it comes to it, this is all your cat is trying to do by urine spraying anyway. Ordinarily, cats will mark their homes using facial marks, body rubbing and scratching, as each of these will deposit their unique pheromones onto a prominent object in the territory. So help them to do this by providing scratch posts and trying not to clean the areas that they facial mark too often. And here's where the pheromone diffusers such as Feline Classic come in very useful, as they emit a synthetic version of these familiar and reassuring pheromones. Avoid adding strong scents to the home, such as air fresheners, scented candles and strong perfumes, as facial marks may not be enough to cover these, and your cat may feel a stronger smelling mark such as urine mark may be necessary. And tip number 8 follows on from this, and this is to minimise and prepare for any significant changes to your home. Any renovations, redecorating or even replacing furniture can change the scent of your home enough to cause your cat to spray. These should be done gradually to help your cat cope with a series of smaller changes rather than one huge one that they're not able to cope with. Other changes that can impact your cat can be changes in the people or other animals in the household. For example, bringing home a new baby also brings with it a ton of different smells and noises, as well as big changes in the behaviour and routines of the baby's parents. So it's not just the baby that they need to get used to. Preparing for these sorts of changes by bringing items into the home gradually will again help them to accept lots of easy little changes without them feeling too overwhelmed and like they need to urine spray. Number 9 is to provide lots of opportunities for your cats to get up high, like tall scratch towers or shelving, and places for them to hide away, like a space under the bed or behind the sofa. Both of these will help your cat to cope with the stresses we've been talking about and will hopefully keep their anxiety at a level that they don't feel like they need to spray. Getting up high allows them to survey their territory without getting in harm's way, so they can look down at the new baby or see what the other cat's up to at a safe distance. It gives them back some confidence and control within their territory. And hiding places give them somewhere to retreat to if it all gets too much and they want a safe space to just relax and settle down for a while. And finally, my last piece of advice is for cats that are spraying multiple times a day and in lots of different locations. And that is, if you've tried everything and perhaps enlisted the help of a qualified cat behaviourist and have still seen no improvement, it may be the kindest thing to do to rehome the cat to a less stressful environment. The most common example of this happening is where the cat is stressed by other neighbourhood cats. Sometimes the feline population in a single area can just be too much for some cats to cope with, and they can be experiencing severe and chronic stress. So rehoming, as difficult as this is, can be a big relief for both the cat and the owner, who may have been living with a spraying cat for months or sometimes even years. So that brings me to the end of my top 10 tips. I hope you found it helpful and have had some options to implement at home if your cat is spraying. If there's no improvement, please do feel welcome to get in touch and we can discuss booking a behaviour consultation. Thanks for listening. Fig's been adorable, and I'll see you next time.